Hello, my name is Sean and I have impulse control problems. Today we'll be unboxing my King of the Mountain pledge from Archon Studios, or Dungeons and Lasers, as they're commonly known on crowdfunding. I have a box. It's kind of a big box. We're going to open it today. I did get the pre-painted pledge. I did that because I figured this maybe would save me about 200 hours of painting. But it was a little bit expensive. This is the most expensive crowdfunding project I've ever done. It's the most I've ever spent. But this is a company that I really, really like. And so I'm understandably very excited to take a look inside. And I hope you are too. If you like videos like this, please be sure to click thumbs up. I'm going to try to time code the particular box sets as I open these up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I had it in my head that perhaps I would clip together like the pre-painted sets, and so you could see all the sets all put together. That might take longer than I'm willing to commit. All right, without further ado, let's take a look inside here. So I could just kind of slowly pull things out of the box, but man, this is a lot of stuff. So I think we're going to do a little mega unboxing here to help kick us off. We don't do that much on this channel. Like aquarium channel, we do a lot of megas, so the old timers will know. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Mega! Oh my goodness. I had to widen the shot. There's a lot of stuff. I think this is the part where we shoot the thumbnail. Okay, so I'm going to lean in here. All right. Where do we start? Okay, we've got a lot of boxes here. We've got a lot of box sets. Not all of them are pre-painted. Some of them are stretch goals and other things. And then we have a lot of these sort of loose packaged things. And these are probably the sort of the add-ons to some of the main. There are kind of some areas, and there are like add-on areas where you can sort of extend particular parts of the cave. All right, so I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. I'm going to pick a box and just start unboxing. Okay, so the way this works is you've got a main theme, which seems to comprise of 2 boxes, and then the sub-themes. So in this video, you will see the entirety of the Caves line. You'll see everything, and everything that comes painted, of course, you'll see. There were some stretch goals or some add-ons that I didn't get. I think they added a few things at the last minute. I just couldn't spend any more money. I've already spent enough. But I think for the most part, you will see everything. You definitely will see all the themes and sub-themes. There'll be timestamps down below. We're going to start with this first one, which is the demonic caves. That sounds spooky. We've got 1, 2, 3 sub-themes here. And they're just kind of smaller sections of the same sort of color. And we'll just kind of call them out as we go. And then here we got the part 1 and part 2 of this theme. Okay, so let's start. Maybe we start with these boxes, because this is sort of the core of the set. And let's just start at 1 of 2 right here. Demonic Caves, pre-painted. The devil's in the details. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I've seen a couple of, I guess I've seen some unboxings, or other people have done it, but it's sort of hard to tell on video. I'm going to do the best I can to convey it. Convey what we've got here. Alright, so what we're looking at is sprues, just like model sprues. So you are going to be clipping the sprues still and cutting them out, but we've got painted details. Kind of put on here. This looks like sort of like a smear. I don't know if that's on purpose or what. I see a couple of them here. They have a little bit of a tack to them. They feel a little bit sticky. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this, I'm going to zoom this in so we can take a real close look at these sprues. We're going to find a good happy spot Alright, that looks like it'll show a whole sprue. And we'll just take these up and look at them one by one. Alright. That's okay. I'm not in total wow. It looks like there have been some reports of it being a little off print and stuff. I don't see... It doesn't look bad. I'm guessing this is going to look really neat when it's all created. It's interesting that these little things coming out are all sort of have a purple color to them. Oh wow, and they can do it on two different sides. That's interesting. So this map just has like chains running through all of it. So there's just like little chains everywhere, all throughout the details and stuff. And we'll pull in real close here. So you can see like on this one, you got some skulls. And you got some chains and stuff. That's what these sort of gold colored things are. And that's just a reoccurring theme all through there. Some of these have this sort of purpley color. Alright. This looks like the same sprue. So it looks like we're getting doubles, like double sprues. These have the bigger little blocks and stuff on them. Little skulls and things down in there. Yeah, you can see the spot color was a little bit more successful in some areas than others. But that guy doesn't look like he got much. But some of the other ones got a bit. Alright. And this is another one, and it is much the same. Now there's a little bit more color there. So it's kind of like perhaps not super consistent, but doesn't look bad. We've got these square marks and stuff, and I'm not sure if these are supposed to be there. Maybe that's some blood splattered on the wall. I don't think it'll look bad. In fact, I'm really interested to see what this looks like all put together. Alright, so that's the first box, and now we're on to box 2. I'm already thinking about the obvious problems I'm going to have with storage. I'm wondering if one of these cut out will fit back into one of these boxes. I think, so I don't get confused at what is what, I'm going to put these back in their boxes. It looks like I'm going to have many, many hours of cutting this off the sprue, which is a fair trade for many, many hours of painting it. Alright, so let's see how this comes out. These are the connector pieces that kind of help this thing connect all together. One, we got little plugs too to kind of cover the holes and stuff. 2, 3 of those. And you can see where they fit in and stuff on the back of this thing here. Alright, so we got some more sections in box 2 of the Demonic Caves. Looks like we got some blood splattered detail here. Some of these areas. Here are a couple of the tiles. I have to say, it might be me. They look a little bit fuzzy, but it might just be the kind of the technique and stuff. Like I can see the texture in here. It is just a little bit. It's just a tad bit sticky. Not bad, just a little bit sticky. And you can tell it's like they've packed it so that the painted parts aren't touching one another, which is good. I'll have to remember to put them away that way too. It'll be interesting to see how they do long term. Of course, here's another one that's the same. I'm going to move through these a little bit quicker. I'll occasionally come in and we'll go in for some details and stuff. I think I showed you this one already. There's another one. Right. So this is where a lot of the panels are, which will make up a lot of this dungeon. And then we have little walls and stuff that go around to give you that cavern feeling. Oof. I'm dying to see what this looks like all put together, but boy, we got a lot of boxes to go through. I'm not even into the subterraneans yet. This time I was real careful. I was able to get all back in there, mostly. And into the sub-themes. So this first one is called Face the Creeping Terror. Chamber of Agony. Alright, let's delve into the Chamber of Agony. And there is no place to put these. I will have to I'll have to figure out how to work these in with the other ones. They do come in a bag. Alright, so this has got some more three-dimensional things that I've seen. Take a real close look here. Some metal components. A little skeleton person right here. Oh, he's not a skeleton. He's so this is why they don't do the painted miniatures. Like, he doesn't look bad, but yeah, there's a little tortured man. Poor little tortured man on there. Got the half cages. I guess that would go in with this other one. So here's the exact same thing again. So you get two of those. Oh, wait. Here's the exact same thing again. And the exact same thing again. So this is 4 of these things. And 1.5 of these. And that is this torture chamber. Okay, so it kind of makes an altar, all of these things together. I think. It kind of looks like it would just be 2 of them. Interesting. Well, I'll have to try to put this together. We'll see. We'll see what they look like. Maybe that might end up being another video of just seeing these things finished out. Now we're checking out the ritual site pre-painted. Right, we've got some new areas, and I think before I delve too deep, I want to look just real quick. Are these all the same? Yeah, so we have 4 that look just like this. And then again, just like the last one, we've got a sprue and a half of the connectors. So let's just take a real close look at this one, since they're all the same. I kind of want to compare two of them and see how consistent it is. It looks pretty pretty consistent. And let's get in here, take a look. Here's a piece of the altar. Looks like some more wall pieces. Some flooring with some bones and part of a ritual stone circle of some sort. Lots of skeleton pieces and parts, of course. Alright, so 4 of those and those sprues, and you get that sub-theme. Next we have the combat arena pre-painted, Clash for Blood and Glory. Now these other sub-themes kind of represented sort of a small room within one of these things, and this seems like a different sort of scenario, so I'm curious to see if this is all the same model that they did with the other one. So we got a sprue and a half of these. Oh yeah, it is the same. Okay, so we got 4 of the exact same model. Let's take a look at it. There's what a sprue of the combat arena looks like. It's funny, the detail on this, it isn't, I don't think it is quite as good as maybe if I painted it. If I hand painted this. But would I? I don't know. And it would take a long time. What it looks like to me, it kind of looks like if, almost like it looks sort of inkjet print. Like an inkjet printer on there. Or laser printer, perhaps. I wonder if this is UV printing, if this is what UV print. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And I don't think it's bad. Like, I'm really anxious to see. I think it's going to look great, kind of all assembled. In fact, I think it will look better all assembled than on the sprue. But we'll see maybe in a minute. Let's take a closer look. Combat Arena. Lots of interesting little areas in this one. And once again, you get 4 of these. Once again, you get 4 of those. And that is Demonic Caves. Next we have the Rocky Caves. Rockies! We were just singing Rocky Top today because we're in Tennessee and we sing that everywhere we go. It's true. Alright, so let's start at the beginning usually. Box 1. And these do actually have a box. So let's slide that out here. This is part 1 of 2. We have a couple of these sprues. We have 2 full sprues of the connector pieces. And let's see, we've got how many of these? 1, 2. We got 2 of these. Let's take a closer look. Rocky Caves. It's a much lighter color scheme. Got some sort of colorful stalactites, stalagmites. Not sure which way those are going to be going. Probably up. And let's see. So we have 2 of those. Oh, there is like a little skeleton in there. See how close I can get. Yeah, little skeleton man in there. I really like the color scheme on this one a lot. I think this one's gonna look cool. I think the other one will look cool too, but I like this one a little bit better so far. All right. Wow. A lot of that stuff going on in this one. Okay, let's take a close look. Really get in there. Looks really neat. And what we're looking at here are the walls to the caves. I imagine anyway. That one is exactly like the last one I just showed you. We got one that's unique here. Oh, look at that. This reminds me a little bit of the Elven Woods terrain, like how it was sort of square, and they try to be friendly with that grid shape. There's not super obvious, but there, if you kind of look, you can see an impression of a grid sort of implied in some of the design of this. This was made to play with Dungeons and Dragons. That was the idea, I believe. That's why they call themselves Dungeons and Lasers, most likely. And let's see what's in box 2. Alright, now we have box 2, Rocky Caves core set. I Want a Rock. What did the other one say that? Yeah, the other one said it too. I want a rock. Cheeky. Cheeky. I imagine this will have a lot of the flat pieces. The actual floor of the caves. Let's see what we got here. These two are the same. You know what? I think these are all the same. But they're different directions, probably for the weight for packing. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, these are all the same sprue. Okay. But in this box 2 you're going to get, and we'll take a close look in a second. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. We're going to look at the very last one here. And we'll take a close look. A much lighter scheme. This seems, yeah, I like the color scheme in this one a lot. I'm kind of looking in the camera thing, but it looks a little bit sharper maybe than the other one. I'm only mentioning that. I'm not trying to pick, nitpick or anything, but I did notice that some people were complaining about that. That it seemed blurry somehow. And I wondered how that could be. But maybe like if some colors are kind of faded off into other areas and stuff. I think part of it is it sort of looks like it's like you can almost see that it's printed. It gets kind of like up in here. Wonder what you guys think of that. And these are a lot of the stuff that I'm noticing. I don't think I'm going to see it like when it's all together as one thing. I think your eye will be not guided into a specific thing like when it's by itself on a sprue. If it's part of a greater thing, I don't think I'm going to notice it as much. I don't think so. Alright, and we're going to just keep on diving deeper into the caves. This looks like a real interesting one. The goblin lair. Goblin lair. It's kind of interesting the way they've done this. And I wonder if this is the same as the others. It looks like it's going to be. They've got like the same one. 1, 2. It is. It's like 4 of the same panel, just like the other ones. We've got a sprue and a half. This time with the brown colored things. And they're all this sprue, which are going to be aspects of the goblin's lair. It is painted on both sides. I guess I should be showing both sides of these sprues. I did not consider that with the others. Hopefully that didn't miss a whole lot. Well, let's see. This one we will for sure take a look at both sides. As I imagine this is simply 1/4 of the goblin lair. Let's get a close look at it. I guess he really is into doors. He's probably got a door on every side, right? I don't know if I showed this side real well. Some planks. Alright, we're going to flip it over. Look for some painted spots. There's some spots right here. Some of these other little details painted. Alright. And that is the goblin's lair. So when I think in the first encounters, they had like a spider lady with a spear. And I sort of wanted to develop this whole campaign around her sending her minions in. And one of the stretch goals in here is like a super big version of that. So I've got an even bigger boss that I can pit against some unwitting people. And this is the spider's nest. So this could be kind of like the goal of that quest. So that's pretty cool. And it is going to follow that same pattern where it is the same thing. We've got a sprue and a half here. So let's take a look at one of these. And we've got a lot of creepy eggs. A lot of creepy eggs and stuff. The walls have 2 painted sides. We have what looks like webbing and stuff all around. Got some bones of some poor fellows that did not make it out. Let's take a close look. Pretty cool. There's a super close look. These look really nice. Really, really cool. I love the webbing and stuff. These eggs. These eggs are crazy. Here's the other side of these walls. Just so you can see that they got some paint on both sides, or whatever this is. Paint, ink, magic archon juice. Whatever. Alright, got one more of these things. The depths of Heist Talm's Caves. Okay. So it looks like sort of a horde. Oh yeah. And it is, yes, it is just like the others. 4 of these things. Walls pre-painted on both sides. It's interesting too, they've got some logo kind of labeled their Prismacast and their logo there in the back. Probably to help identify forgeries that will inevitably happen, especially if they're successful with this line of stuff. If If you do good, eventually somebody's going to come for you. Okay. Look at that. That's pretty. I like it. A lot of details in here. I'm going to pull in as close as I can. Got my camera getting blurry. A lot of really pretty blue crystals in this cave. A little vibrant. So vibrant for the dark caves. There's some backside. Okay. Okay, I think I showed everything here. Oh, and please note the gems. These little green things, it's like kind of gold coins and gemstones and stuff kind of laying about on the floor here. And this, especially in this part here, especially when you combine the four of them, should make like a big hoard of gold. All right. And that concludes the Rocky Caves sub-themes and main themes. Let us venture into the most disturbing area of the caves, and that would be the belly of the beast. We've got eyeballs, fleshy tunnels. This has some translucent parts in it, sort of, because it kind of looks like you're moving through intestines and stuff. So I'm curious to see what that looks like with their paint jobs on top of it. That's going to be in the sub-theme, though, so we'll see that. We'll have to wait and see that in a sec. Okay. Belly of the Beast. Core box. This is 2. Let's do 1 of 2. This may be the most disturbing terrain set in my collection now. Got sort of a hellscape living cave theme. We got bright red connector plates here. We got 2 full sprues. And we've got 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 2 different sprues. 4 total in this one. And we're going to take a look at... So let's just take a look at this one first. My goodness. It's like I got a dead animal here down in front of me. Wow. Oh, wow. There are a lot of little details in this one I'm going to have to point out to you guys. Oh, man. Little faces. Like literally everywhere you look here. Okay, let's get in close. First floor, we have teeth, flesh, bones, all into the walls. So conveniently placed. Lots of little details to pick out in here. There's a lot of stuff it's hard for me to see right now. So hopefully I'm not missing much. Let's take a look at the other side, which does look a little different than the other side. A couple of different little details in here. Really, really liking this set. That's crazy. I want to take a closer look at that. Oh, that gross. These little pustules or something on the sides of the walls and stuff. Oh my gosh. That's just going to rupture and get all over your shirt. Ew. Alright, so that's sprue 1. There's 2 of those. And here's sprue 2. These are all mostly wall pieces, so I guess the floor pieces will be coming up next. Let me tell you what, those are really interesting. Lots more mouths and stuff. Heck, just glancing over here at the sub-themes, I got all these eyeballs coming out at me. Focus went all wacky on me. Okay. Take a look at the other side here. More walls. More teeth. Got a few different shapes, of course. Fleshy, teethy areas. Looking at the other side here. Really fascinating. I can see too, if you're playing Warhammer 40k and you're going into some kind of chaos, battling chaos or something on some hell world, that you could easily put together something like that, or some sort of Necromunda. I personally love to play a game called Pulp Alley. Pulp Alley is a miniature agnostic game. You can play with any kind of miniatures you want. You can do, and it's really, you can bend it into any kind of scenario you want. It's a really great way to play miniature games, and what's really fun is to get some really cool looking terrain and put it on there. And so I'm hoping that that's what this will be for me. All right. So in box 2 we have one set of connectors. One set of elevated areas. We'll take a closer look at this. Again, it kind of reminds me of the Elven Woods Hills and stuff. Those little sets of guys. And then we have 7 sets of these different floor areas. And so all 7 of these are going to be this set. So that leaves us with these 2 things to look at for this box 2. And here's this one. This is just one side. It's just plastic on this side. And then we've got a painted area. It looks like that paint area just extends right to the top. It's right at the top of it. So it is plastic on the side. That's interesting. Okay. And here we have some of the floor. Of course, the floor is very, very teethy, spooky, with little tendrils. You just barely still see some rocks sticking out from underneath there. We've got these little corners to make some turns, some twists and some turns. Alright, that's that one. There's 7 of these to make your floors. And then we've got this piece. We've got one set of elevated pieces here. Here's a close look. Pretty cool. Looks very gross. Like I said, awesome Warhammer 40k chaos terrain. Or if you were playing Pulp Alley and you wanted to do some sort of hellscape, if you're going to do a really scary terrain. I haven't seen too many Pulp Alley games that get quite that scary, but you can go into the belly of the beast in any number of ways. Alright, and we got 3 subterranes for the caves, belly of the beast. This sub-theme is called the Evil Eye Hive. You'll notice too that it says 5e compatible. All this was made with Dungeons and Dragons in mind. Of course, I keep talking about all these other games you could play with it. Ooh, this one does have different ones. Okay, so this one diverges a little bit from the others, and then it's got 2 sets of different ones, and then again, screw and a half of the connectors. So let's take a look at these 2. Here's thing 1 of the evil eye hive, and boy, there is a lot of eyes. The eyes have it. There's a lot to see in this one. It's pretty cool eyes. Get in close there. Came out good. Very spooky. To say the least, very spooky. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. The other side, what we got here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right, so that's that one. And then we've got, oh wait, these are the same. They're just turned different directions. It fooled me. Oh, okay, so they're just kind of packed different okay. So this is exactly like the other ones. Yes. four of these, the evil eye hive. Okay. So we've seen the body of the beast. We've seen the eyes of the beast. This is the maw of the beast. We are going into the beast's mouth now. And we're going to see the beast's face, to see those beastie teeth. I felt like something came off here. There's some little bitty pieces of the plastic sprue that don't seem like, they're not pieces of the model coming off, but I have some little sprue pieces that have popped off. So same, except that it's kind of this tan yellowy color. We have 4 of these, but they're different. I'm seeing some different colors. Like this one missed a green color or something. Yeah. I think that one just kind of didn't get colored all the way. So that's interesting. See if there's anything else. No, it's like it just didn't get the green layer, because the green parts just aren't green. Well, we got some bile. Might be some different color bile, okay. Otherwise, they're the same. And I guess these parts here are probably going to form the mouth. Alright, let's take a close look at this guy's digestive fluids. There's a little puddle of digestive fluid. Don't step in that. Here's probably the corners of the mouth and stuff. And these big teeth, which are going to form this great big mouth in the center of this room. Which looks pretty cool. Okay. Just try to envision it. Okay, so that's not a misprint. You can see right here, this one is a different color. This pool is supposed to be slightly different. Okay. Alright. I don't know much about the digestive issues in caves. Caves and its digestive issues and needs. So we've seen the belly of the beast. We've seen the eyes of the beast. We've seen the mouth of the beast. Now it's time for its lower intestines. Carnage tract within the belly of the thoracic. So this is the belly of the thoracic. Okay. Carnage tract. And is it like the others? Yes. And oh my. Alright, so we've got translucent connectors now. And again, 4 of these for the exact same sprue. And this sprue is on, it looks like, yeah, it's sort of a translucent material. Ooh. Lots of no good going on in there. Going to be basically kind of going down the walls of digestive tract. Look at that. Ew, looks like a worm, doesn't it? Alright, here's the other side. Yeah, definitely some cool stuff here. Alright. And that's all the themes and the sub-themes. So what do we have left? We have the stretch goals. The stretch goals, and we have some extra stuff. So I'm not sure what's up with these guys. I think this guy's a stretch goal that just kind of ended up in here. He was a community stretch goal, whatever that means. Sometimes I'll have a stretch goal that'll include like getting enough likes or something. And he is Gervas the Eaten. He's a giant, which is cool. In was it Encounters? I can't remember if it's Encounters or Dulcere that had the lady giant, the pretty lady giant. I've got her all painted so she can maybe have a nice friend. He's got 2 heads, but I'm sure she will accept him. Very nice detail as always with Dungeons and Lasers products. This one has a detailed base. And it's handy. It's all in one sprue there. We've also got a Dawn the Minotaur. And he's a nice size. He's a big monster. It's a great big one. Great big base. A lot of good details. You can see the hand. You get details in this stuff that you won't get in the pre-assembled miniatures that you get from a lot of board games. Right here we have a gelatinous cube. Jello there, it says. And got that clear plastic. That's a lot of fun. I wonder how they painted that. I'm not sure how to paint these clear ones. I've seen some really good ones on Facebook, some of the Facebook groups and stuff that do these Dungeons and Lasers modeling. Alright, now we got 3 boxes of stretch goals. Which one's box 1? Alright, here is stretch goal number 1. A lot of cool stuff in there. It's probably easier to see this picture of what's in there than it will be to make out what things are on the sprue. We're going to look at the sprues anyway, just to get kind of a close look. It's a lot of kind of scattered terrain and stuff. These stretch goal boxes are kind of unique to the campaigns. You can't usually get that specific thing later, but they'll take these little pieces and spread them out amongst other stuff. Later on they'll come out, you'll see them come out in other campaigns. You'll be able to buy usually the stretch goals, so as they've gone on, you'll be able to kind of buy in all the stuff that you've missed before. But boy, it can get expensive. It can get expensive real quick, so you gotta be careful. Okay, let's just kind of go through these sprues. Oh wow, really neat looking stuff. Now I'm gonna pull in as tight as I can, but I'm not gonna take you all the way into each individual sprue because it's just too much. There's just too much stuff here. All right, we've got some connector pieces, some clear connector pieces. Another sprue here. It's like we've got some mushrooms and stuff. Flip that over. All right. Man, all the stuff on here just looks really compelling and interesting. I can't wait to dig in and paint this stuff. Oh, and we have some pre-painted elements. I wondered how they would do that. So, some of these elements are pre-painted. We have a few of these traps. Oh, that's great. Really neat. Okay. What do you know? I kind of half expected this not to be done. I'm not sure why. I just kind of wondered. I wondered if they would actually have some painted elements in there. And as you can see, not all of it is, but thankfully some of it is. And we've got some bases and some characters. Looks like we have that dude on a throne and stuff. There's some pieces of that throne. And some more dwarven characters. There are a lot of dwarves in this. So I wouldn't do this, but here we go. You can see there's a lot of really good detail. A lot of really good detail. Anxious to paint the dwarves out of here. Looks like this sprue had some clear elements. And there are actually two of the exact same of these. So we'll give you a little bit closer look. Yeah, so two of these. And that makes up stretch goal box number 1. All right, regular stretch goals. Remember to stretch. Part 2 of 3. And what am I looking at here? Looks like we have some kind of terraces and stuff. Wonder if it actually says on the back what they are. 1 focal point set. Wide section props and elements. New locations to explore. Okay. This looks like it has some pre-painted elements, of course, yeah. Yeah. And it's got that kind of purplish color like that first one we opened. Here's a quick look at these, since they painted them up for us. For a small fee, of course. And we've got, what, 2 of those? It's interesting there's no paint here. I think something must attach right there, of course. But they didn't just paint over it. It's like it's got a little spot there. Maybe we should put some glue. Maybe glue doesn't adhere to this too well. So you got 2 of these that are the same. There's another one that's the same. And that one's the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. 1, 2. And 4 of these. So let's take a look at this one. And we got a scary door. Boy, it's like I don't see. This doesn't really. It's funny. This looks. It looks so different in tone from the unpainted picture on the outside. That's cool that so many of the stretch goals are also painted. This will give me a lot of time to really focus on the characters and stuff. And the reason I went with the painted version is that it's like, well, it's like save it. Like I'd feel compelled to paint everything that I purchase. I know I never will. I know it won't happen, but yeah, if I can buy some percentage of things that are pre-painted, and then especially because I'm wanting to get some of this anyway in order to get to some of these stretch goals, that's usually what I'm going for. The stretch goals in this one actually weren't as compelling as some of the other ones. We're about to get into the super stretch goals, and I've got one more stretch goal box here while I'm dissing it, but yeah, the stretch goals weren't nearly as compelling as like maybe the last one. Like I remember that dragon turtle was something I was super into. I was so excited. In fact, when I got that when I did that unboxing, I painted that whole thing. I remember I painted that before I even finished the video, and I did like a painted review along with it. And the same with the Tarrasque in the encounters. Alright, we are in part 3 of the regular stretch goals. And it looks like we've got the train, which I'm excited about. We got some little train parts. Or we got part of the train tracks, it looks like. And we've got some, I don't know if these are, I guess they're supposed to be crystals. They look like water pieces, but maybe crystal pieces. And it looks like perhaps a waterfall over here. A lot of people have been excited about the train. I think there's more train stuff in this next box that we're going to look at. We'll see. Okay. Alright, so these two clear pieces are the same. So let's take a look at this one. No pre-painted in this particular box set. There you go. That gives you kind of a sense of just how transparent it is. Alright. So you get 2 of those. And it looks like 2 of these. And these are railroad tracks, mostly. Looks like railroad tracks and a car. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Really cool detail. This is going to be very easy to paint up with some contrast paints and stuff. If you do that, or if you do other techniques, I'm sure you'll appreciate the details that they put into these. Lots of nice little tiny little scattered train details in there. Really make that come to life, that dwarven mine. These all say 5e compatible on them because they sell them as Dungeons and Dragons terrain. And I guess they're compatible with like the TSR miniatures and stuff. I don't know what compatible is supposed to mean. Like maybe there's a certain scale that that makes them feel like they're in the same range as most of the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Of course, the other thing to note is each one of these things so far has had a book associated with it that would that ties into the 5e rules. So for Dungeons and Dragons, it's got they've got a little 5e compatible rule books that kind of cover the whole world of Dulcere, and a lot of things are very similar to, like, there's a Tarrasque in both of these things. And there's beholders and all kinds of creatures like that, but they do have their own bestiary that matches their models and maybe has little twists. Maybe I'm not sure how different they are. I don't know enough about regular Dungeons and Dragons to know how different the stuff in that bestiary is from the other one. Feel free to comment down below if you know. I've only got the PDF of all these books and stuff because I don't, but they did sell hard copies of the books. They're not super cheap, and PDF is just fine with me. So I was happy to have it, but yeah, really cool that they do include rules for those of you that want to use that. Like, if you pack this, you're some dungeon master's best friend, or maybe you're a dungeon master to be envied if you've got this yourself, I would say. Sadly, I don't do dungeon mastering. Alright, so what do we have? We got a big ancient brain in this one. I think we have the big spider queen. Yeah, we have the big giant spider lady in this one too. And it looks like an archway leading to our big mega stretch goal here. So these are super stretch goals. Deep in the caves, beyond epic. So we should have some big old epic monsters here. Alright. Oh, we have another painted piece. Oh, wow. Yeah, so, okay. So, the Balrog cave here is painted on both sides there. Looks like he's painted in that demonic caves coloring. We'll get you in close. Take a look. Where's his face? And the archway here. It's painted on both sides. That's that. And we got a choo-choo train. Got the train here. And the ancient brain, the big giant brain monster. And sexy super spider queen with her big old egg sack. That egg sack that won't fight back. Put you in a nap. Suck out your blood. Put you in the mud. I'm a rapper. What can I say? I'm excited to see so much pre-painted terrain already in some of these things. Just keeps making me really happy. Okay, so here we have the very last thing, and that is the Balor. This is a big, huge model that I will be painting after I'm finished with Nemesis. I'll assemble and paint this thing. I want to do something special with this one too, so I'm hoping to maybe do some lighting effects and add some LEDs and stuff. I don't know how possible that'll be. But I'm looking forward to diving into this one and making kind of it's going to be a big deep dive painting. This will be a deep dive painting challenge coming soon. As you guys can see, there are, well, I guess you can't really see, but there are clear and translucent pieces in this. Anyway, you'll see. You'll see. Alright. I think every one of these sprues is unique. and mostly this side. All right, so we actually have very little clear stuff on here. All right. It's got just a few transparent pieces. They're pretty clear. All right, we'll see how those work in. And then the body of this guy, he's got all kinds of holes and stuff in him, so I'm wondering if some of these little fire pieces are going to sneak through here, or how this is going to go together. But look at that. Look how he's got all these like kind of transparent or holes and stuff in his body. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Look at that leg there. It's got a little garter or something on there. Big old whip. Yeah, this is that, I don't know, it's like 28 millimeter, maybe 30 millimeter scale. I can't remember what the scale is for their models. But it's like, it's roughly, it's not, I don't know, it's not the same as Warhammer 40K, obviously. But, probably comparable in there. Like you could, like, especially with the terrain pieces, I think it would work just fine. Model-wise, I find that these models tend to look best all together. Although I'm sure you can mix and match it. You know, there's all kinds of different things. Boy, that's crazy. The detail in this is nuts. It'd be really hard to convey through the video. Wow. This is a stupendous model. I'm just seeing like crazy amounts of detail everywhere. Little buckles and belts and the size of these wings, these great big old wings. It looks like they come in like 4 parts or something. It's crazy, man. Crazy. That is the Balor. And that is it. That is all the Dungeons and Lasers boxes. Oh boy, that took a while to go through. So I'm going to take one of these box sets and I'm going to cut it out and then we're going to film it. And I'm going to show you what they look like all assembled. And I think I'll include all the subterranean too. But I'm going to do those in separate videos. So look for that. Be sure to subscribe to see that. They'll be coming up real soon. I just don't want to put all this out at once, or otherwise this video is going to be like 4 hours long. So I'm going to trickle out the fully finished caves. I'm going to try to assemble each one, and you'll probably get a more thorough actual review because I won't have to paint it or anything. I should just be able to assemble it and it look great. So we'll assemble it and see how they look. We'll take some Dungeons and Lasers stuff I've already painted up from old campaigns and throw them on there. So if you made it this far, be sure to click the like button. Obviously, you had a great time. And subscribe, because we're going to be doing more of this. We're going to painting the stuff that isn't painted. We're going to be assembling the stuff that is pre-painted. And I'm going to bring it all to you. And until then, enjoy your games. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.